Hey, Taco. I know you guys are familiar with Taco, but I don't think you guys have ever met my other dog. Paris. There she is. Come here, Paris. This is Paris. She's my other doggy. Welcome. Sorry I haven't posted a video in a while. I was actually busy doing a lot of things. I worked on my friend's TV pilot for a while, so that took up a lot of my time. And then after that, I just had other things to do. You know, I'm working on a lot of other stuff outside of YouTube. Anyway, I was going to do like a bigger video. I was going to have this do this video outside and have it be this whole production. But then, you know, I went outside today and it was like 1,000,000 degrees out. So I'm like, nah, I'll just do it in the classic bedroom set. Anyway, let's get right into it. What is this video about? Well, you read the title. This is the 5 best, in my opinion, 5 best animated superhero series that were canceled too soon. Now, there are a lot of lists out there of the same thing, so you're going to see a lot of the same picks on their list as mine, because it seems pretty unanimous when it comes to which superhero shows should have been canceled versus which ones shouldn't have been. Now, keep in mind, I have not seen all animated shows, because that's a lot, okay? I already pretty much take it upon myself to watch almost every superhero-related TV show that's live action, so putting animated into the category is just too much. Here we go. Number 5, Young Justice. Now, here's the thing. I actually haven't seen all of Young Justice. I know it ran for 2 seasons, and the reception after it got canceled was so crazy that they just renewed a 3rd season on Netflix. By just renewed, I think it was like a couple years ago they renewed it. So it's kind of cheating that it's on this list to begin with, but I feel like if I didn't put it on the list, most of you would be like, what the hell is wrong with you? Young Justice, you know? So again, I haven't seen Young Justice all the way through. I know it's only 2 seasons. Maybe I should get up on that because I heard it's amazing. So the fan base was so rabid and grew so large after this series was canceled after its 2nd season. They picked it up for a 3rd season, and they're going to distribute that on Netflix, so it will be in your homes soon, and that will be fun. I will definitely get up and watch that. I believe it's called Young Justice Outsiders. I'm looking forward to it. Again, I need to still watch the first 2 seasons all the way through, but overall, it's a good show. The animation looks great. I like how they took a character like Sportsmaster and made him an actual cool character and not someone who's kind of stupid. But yeah, moving on, I don't got a lot to say about it because I haven't seen it all the way through. Numero 4, Teen Titans. This show was the shit back in the day. This show was so freaking good. The animation style, the action, the fluidity was fantastic. The character growth and development that happened between characters like Robin and Starfire, Beast Boy, and freaking Cyborg was amazing. Raven too. This was a serious cartoon, and it was surprising how serious this cartoon could get. You know, Deathstroke, Slade Wilson, was the main antagonist, and he was baller. Now, I haven't seen it in a while because it came out years ago, but I remember loving it. This show was great. And if you love the show, please comment down below what your favorite episode was, because I am curious and I want to get back into watching it. So tell me which episodes are your favorite, and I'll keep you in mind. Out of all these shows, this one seems like it was canceled out of nowhere the most. My number 3 through 1 picks were canceled for kind of an obvious reason. You know, it's like, okay, it sucks they were canceled, but I get why they were canceled. This show, I don't know why it was canceled. Not only did the show leave on an insane cliffhanger, but they canceled the show to start another show using the exact same cast. And of course, you know that this show is Teen Titans
So beautiful! Ah!
Go. More like Teen Titans Go Away, am I right? Teen Titans Go has even acknowledged how much better the old show was.
Look upon your previous incarnation!
That looks like us, but better!
So it's kind of strange.
These Teen Titans were about character development, drama, and heart!
Teen Titans Go, look, I understand that it has its fan base and it has its place. It is what it is. And if you don't compare it to the original Teen Titans show, it is a funny show in some parts and stuff like that. I can't get into it. And now they have a freaking movie coming out.
Teen Titans Go to the movies.
This movie sucked!
I hope at the end of the movie it's like this giant twist that like Teen Titans Go was just Robin's weird pipe dream by like the Toyman or something like that. It's just the show is so weird that they kept it going with the same voice cast but changed the show completely. Did a full 180. Did a full 720. Very strange that that show was canceled, especially on such a big cliffhanger. Number 3. Wolverine and the X-Men. This show only had one season, and I just rewatched the whole thing, and I finished it a couple days ago. This show is amazing. This show is the spitting image of what X-Men should be. Now, I like the X-Men movies. I do. Are they the most comic-accurate comic book movies? No. Again, that doesn't really bother me. But if you want a comic-accurate yet still contemporary portrayal of the X-Men, Wolverine and the X-Men is the show for you. On rewatch, there are a lot of filler episodes that sort of detract from the main story. However, even during these filler episodes, you are not bored because the filler episodes still build character. And even though they sort of detour from the original plotline, it's a really cool episode regardless because you're developing these characters like Wolverine and Nightcrawler and Rogue. You have really cool cameos from a lot of different characters in the X-Men universe, whether it be on Genosha or whatever. You take these characters and make them really cool and really contemporary and put them in a modern setting. The plot basically revolves around there's an explosion at the X-Mansion, and that puts Professor X into a coma. He wakes up after 20 years into the future with all the Sentinels. It's basically Days of Future Past, where he has to basically transfer his consciousness using Cerebro to talk to Logan, aka Wolverine, to basically prevent the future from happening. The action is great. The way they portray the Brotherhood, the X-Men, and Mr. Sinister and the Marauders are all fantastic. This show as well, though, left on such a massive cliffhanger. Now, apparently the reason this show was canceled after only one season is because this show aired before Disney's acquisition of Marvel. As soon as that happened, there's a lot of like legal crap that happened, and basically as soon as Disney got a hold of Marvel, obviously Disney was the only one who wanted to make Marvel-themed animated shows. So Wolverine and the X-Men was unfortunately canceled, and Disney buying Marvel, believe it or not, is the same reason my next show got canceled. Numero dos, the spectacular SpiderMan. The fact that this show was canceled is a crime. Okay, this show was mature and it was great, even though it was a cartoon. It had a lot of mature themes and it got Spider-Man so accurate. It paid tribute to the Sam Raimi movies. It paid tribute to who Peter Parker really was. And the action was fantastic. The amount of storylines that they were able to fit in this show is amazing. From everything from the Sinister Six to the mob bosses like Tombstone and Hammerhead, all fantastic. This show only lasted 2 seasons and again was canceled, but then what did they replace it with? Ultimate Spider-Man. The fact that Spectacular Spider-Man was canceled is a crime. The fact that it was canceled only to be replaced with Ultimate Spider-Man is an even bigger crime. I'm sorry, I hate to rag on hard work like TV shows and movies because I know how hard it is to make those things, but Ultimate Spider-Man was garbage. They basically turned Spider-Man into Deadpool. And then it was funny because when they did the crossover with Deadpool, they basically had to turn Deadpool up to 11 because of how much Spider-Man was already like Deadpool.
And I mean that for realsies. Deadpool! Fun, freedom. You know, sometimes you are just no fun! Ka-ching! Funhouse!
The intense amount of cutaway gags. Anyone who was working on this show didn't really seem to understand the characters, any character. After Disney made that deal with Sony, they canceled Ultimate Spider-Man and are now making a new Spider-Man, which I have not seen. I have not seen the new animated Spider-Man, which obviously takes influence more from the Tom Holland-esque Spider-Man that the MCU gave us. But Spectacular Spider-Man, great show, go watch it. Numero uno is Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. A couple years ago, they released some concept art after the show was canceled, showing like 3D Man and a bunch of other people who were going to possibly be in season 3 of this show. This show was so good. Not only was the action great, the dialogue was fantastic, the animation was spectacular. I miss this show, okay, because this show gave me my Avengers fix. It introduced me to the modern incarnations of Guardians of the Galaxy before the movie was even released. Now, this show was canceled, but it did seem like it still had an ending with Galactus and all that, and then all the Avengers had to team up. However, it felt rushed, and it didn't feel like the conclusion was right. I feel like they needed like a 2-hour finale to really, like a part 1 and a part 2, to really get the essence of what the show was about to wrap up. The conclusion was just super rushed, and it left me wanting more. And of course, this show was also canceled and then replaced after the movie with Avengers Assemble. I think it was just most of these animation people or the execs at these animation studios want to capitalize on the success of the films, so they cancel everything that came before the films, because everyone who watched the films who didn't watch the animation before it, they associate the films with those characters. So if they go to a show that they're not already a part of, they're going to feel lost, and they're going to feel like, oh, why does Hulk do that, or why does Hawkeye look like that? Hawkeye doesn't look like that in the movies. I get it. They want to be safe and they want to make a show that resembles the movies more closely. It just sucks that these great shows end up being collateral in this business decision, because Earth's Mightiest Heroes was so freaking good. And when that concept art, or like keyframes rather, got released, I really wished they would have kept the show going. I know this list was kind of vague, but I really want to avoid spoilers. If you haven't seen any of these shows yet, you should really go out and see them. Again, I haven't seen all animated forms. I remember X-Men Evolution being really good, but I believe that wrapped up pretty well after like 6 seasons or something like that. I could be wrong. Comment below if I'm wrong. Comment below your list of your favorite superhero animated shows that were canceled too soon, or even just superhero animated shows in general. So I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna go, I don't know, like jump in a bucket of ice, because literally it's 1,000,000 degrees out here. Woo! All right, guys. See you later.